Harley Davidson has been facing a challenge, I would say probably at least the last 7 years, maybe a little longer. And I was really hoping that when I saw the 2026 reveal video and saw the things on Harley's website about the models that they still haven't shown us yet, but they're gonna show us in January, that I would get a feeling of some sort that Harley was making the right decisions, doing the right things to get them headed back in the right direction relative to the past several years. I'm disappointed. What's up? I'm Jim. Welcome back to J Street Moto. Welcome to the channel if it's your first time. Kids like the bike. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that the past several years Harley's had some significant challenges. Let's just look at the last 10 for some examples. Example number 1. This newest CEO that just took control of the company middle of October is the second time the CEO's job has changed people in the last 10 years. You don't change leadership when your company's performing well. Let's look at another measurement. Sales, unit sales. So how many motorcycles has Harley Davidson sold each year over the last decade between 2015 and 2024? The highest point during that time happened in 2016, and they sold 268,000 motorcycles. Last year in 2024, they sold 151,000. Between 2016 and 2024, so 9 years, their sales have fallen off over 100,000 units. And yes, if you look at it each year, they sell less every year starting in 2016 all the way through 2024. All of this stuff has me concerned, because I want Harley to succeed as a brand. I really do. I want the motor company to succeed. I love their products. I love the culture. I love the community. I love everything about Harley Davidson. I bleed black and orange. It concerns me when I see those kinds of statistics. It concerns me how the motorcycle company's doing. And I was truly looking forward to the Chapter 1 26 model, reveal, I guess, video that came out a week ago. I was really looking forward to that, because I was hoping I would see something in that video. What's up? What's up, dog? What's up, dog? I was hoping I would see something in that video that would let me know Harley understands their problem and are doing something proactive to try and change the direction of the ship, get them back on the right course, improve things like sales and profitability. The stock price has also been going down over the past several years, by the way. Just an extra bit of information there. Oh shit, what am I thinking? This video is dropping on November 11th, which is Veterans Day in the United States. And I would be remiss if I didn't, on this video, personally offer my gratitude to my fellow brothers and sisters in arms who have at some point in their life, or maybe are currently, serving this country in order to protect the freedoms and liberties that we enjoy here. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, from one vet to another. I thank you for your service. So yeah, I was hoping that the Chapter 1 video that they just dropped would, between that and between what you see on their website, because when that video dropped, they also had, in addition to the Harley Davidson corporate website, where you could go and look at the 2026 model lineup. Now, there's a large section of models there that are, you cannot get the specs on them. You cannot even see them. They're covered with bike covers. But you can at least see the names, so it kind of gives you an idea of, well, what's the stuff Harley's bringing new to the table for 2026 relative to 25 and relative to 24. That list is also telling by what is not there. And I'm not going to talk about it long, but it appears to me, at least I'm going to go ahead and say it, it appears to me that there will not be a 2026 version of the Road King. So let's get back to what I was trying to talk about. Harley's struggling. I'm going to talk to you about what I think and what my opinion is. And I hope that if you agree or disagree with it, that you'll drop down in the comments and you will tell me what your thoughts are on the topic. So the problem is Harley's not selling as many motorcycles. That's the problem. But then you have to ask yourself, why are they not selling as many motorcycles? Because really, I would argue that the lack of motorcycle sales is more a symptom than the actual problems. There's always some kind of root cause for something like we're seeing with Harley Davidson, where motorcycle sales have been consistently falling off year over year. I've given some thought to it, and I personally think that, well, let's start here. Out of the whole population of the world, it's a very small group of us that choose to ride motorcycles. And let's say that Harley's market, let's just put it this way, Harley's market for sales is, out of that entire group in the human population that would buy motorcycles, Harley is competing for the people that would be buying cruisers or heavy cruiser style motorcycles. And there are tons of manufacturers out there that make bikes that fall into those classifications. So they're competing for a small piece of an already small piece of pie, is my point. It's my opinion that over the past several years, the small part of that pie that was like loyal to Harley Davidson is getting smaller because the population is aging and they are choosing to no longer ride motorcycles. They're aging out. When they were in their 60s, they were riding and buying bikes. Now they're in their 70s and they're either hanging it up altogether or they're not riding as much as they used to justify updating their bike and purchasing new ones periodically. They're losing market share because people are aging out. Now that normally can be resolved, or is a problem that isn't unsolvable, if your brand is attracting new buyers to it that haven't already been part of you. So think younger riders. If you're attracting those guys, which is who Harley really wants to attract, because that's a buyer that's going to have, you know, they're probably going to purchase 2, 3, 4 motorcycles from you between when they start riding your product and when they finally say, I'm not going to ride anymore. So it's a relationship that results in multiple sales over the years. If you're not attracting as many or more of those new buyers to your product, to your brand, as you are losing on the back end from folks that are aging out, your sales are going to consistently decline. That's where my brain goes. That's what I think. Now, I could be completely wrong. Drop it in the comments if you think I am. I was hoping when I watched the release video, or the reveal video, I guess is what they're calling it, and saw the information that I saw on the 26 models on the website, that I was going to see something that let me know Harley recognizes this as their problem and they are doing something to attract younger purchasers to their brand. They did not. I don't see anything that fits that that desire of mine, or that hope of mine. They're doing nothing to attract younger buyers to the brand. Where a lot of their innovation has been focused for 2026 is on all the motorcycles that are on the top end of their price point. It's different CVO models. It's limited editions. All of those things cost more than the standard bike. Now, some people will say, well, if you're charging more for a motorcycle, your profitability can go up. Which is right. You still got to have some volume there. What I do know is this. There aren't a lot of 20 or 30-year-olds that are either already riding or just decided to start riding, and let's say they're already attracted to Harley for some reason. I don't know a lot that fall into that age group that can come to Harley and drop 45 grand. Let's call it like 35 to 45, because I think they're coming out with a CVO Lowrider ST, which is slightly lower than the 45 or 46,000 that's going to be for the Street Glide CVO ST. I don't know a lot of people that are going to spend that kind of money. Now, it might be, oh, well, but that product is going to entice them to come into the dealership and look at the standard road glides. Okay, that age group is still going to be fairly cost conscious. We're dealing with some economic headwinds right now between inflation. Basically, disposable income for everyone is going down. It's shrinking. And it's hard to justify spending a bunch of money on what would be considered a luxury item, something that's a toy, that you don't have to have it. But let's say it does entice them into the dealership to do that. Why would anyone in their right mind drop, let's call it 27,000 for the Road Glide, drop 27 grand on a brand new Road Glide when they can go and get a 24 model, possibly brand new or certainly used with only a couple of hundred miles on it, and it's the same damn bike for a considerable discount. If they're buying off the used market, that does not help the motor company. Doesn't help them with their sales for that year. So yeah, I don't see, it was a disappointing video. I mean, the artistry in it, the way they told the story, all that stuff was very entertaining and I enjoyed watching it. That's not what I mean by it was a disappointing video. What was disappointing about it was there's nothing there that even indicates to me that Harley is aware of the problem they are trying to solve. They're still thinking like, oh, we're still, you know, it's still 20 years ago. We can produce whatever we want. People are going to buy it. No, they aren't. And it's obvious they're not, because your sales declining over the past decade prove that that is wrong. I want you to do better, Harley. I really do. I want you to succeed. I want you to make good decisions. I want you to steer the ship the way it needs to get Harley back to the kind of brand that it should be. Hell, what do I know though? I'm not in the industry. That's why I ask for y'all's opinion. If you work for the motor company or a dealer and you're willing to make a comment and say, Jim, you know, I've heard people say the same things you say in our company and in the industry. So they do know about it. They're working towards it. I would love to see that comment. I understand that what came out or what is being released right now, those decisions were made probably 5 years ago. So it's not like it was done overnight. And I know it takes time to make changes. If you know that the company's aware of it and they're starting to, you know, kind of think that way, please drop it in the comments and let me know. It'll give me some peace of mind. But yeah, that's it. That's what I had for today. It's beautiful here. Today is the Sunday before this video drops. And it is, I want to say 68 degrees right now and mostly sunny. Gorgeous day. I hope it's beautiful where you are and I hope you're able to get out and ride. Maybe check on your friends. We're coming into that time of year where it's the holiday season and it can be a very, people can get down during this time of year. It can be depressing for some folks. Maybe reach out, check on your friends. It doesn't take any time for you to send a text or make a phone call. Check on how they are. Maybe catch up with them, maybe meet up with them. Hell, go for a ride with them if you can. If they ride, get on your bikes and go put in some miles before the weather really gets shitty where you live. But check on them. You'll never know the impact that can have on someone's life. It's the time of year that I know is tough for people. So check on your buddies. Do me a favor, like, subscribe, click the notification bell. All that stuff is absolutely free to you. And it does help the channel, believe it or not. No matter what you do, always ride safe.